This is Paul for Redneck Sports. I believe that everybody should win in life, or at least attempt to. The first three maxims of General Robert Nealon's game maxims, I believe apply to everybody. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. If at first the game or the breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam. Welcome to the channel. Now let's discuss some sports. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Okay, this week I am going to cover 7 games instead of my normal 5 games of men's games, basketball-wise, that you should watch from this Saturday to next Friday. I think these are going to be important games. It's going to tell us where everybody is at when it comes to college basketball. I think it's going to be some massively interesting games. I'm actually not going to cover the University of Tennessee this week because their game is They're playing like UT Martin. It's a 2-2 team. It's not important compared to these 7 games. I think these 7 games will be big ticket games, and I think that you should watch them. So we're going to get into these 7 SEC games for you to watching men's college basketball. Okay, the first game that I'm going to talk about, Georgia Bulldogs are going to be playing number 15 as of right now, Marquette. Marquette's in the Big East, and they're ranked compared to Georgia. Georgia beat Georgia Tech, North Florida, Texas Southern, and Tennessee Tech so far this year. Marquette has beaten Stony Brook, George Mason, Central Michigan, and Maryland so far this year. So they're both 4-0 as of the recording of this video. This is on paper, it looks like Marquette is a far better team. Georgia's best player is Asa Newell. He's averaging like 16.8 points per game. Cam Jones for Marquette is averaging 24. Assists, Silas DeMary Jr. is averaging 3.8, and Cam Jones for Marquette is averaging 5. It's points scored. Right now, Georgia's looking better. They're at 342 on the season for Marquette's 332, which, okay, big deal. Rebounds, Georgia's considered far better. And field goal percentage, Georgia's considered far better. Free throw percentage, Marquette's better. 3-point percentage, slightly the same. It's like a 0.1% difference. On paper, these two teams really do look to be about similar. This will be far more of a challenge for Marquette, in my opinion. They've got fewer players scoring as high as what Georgia has. And rebound-wise, I think Georgia does knock them out. But I think it's steals-wise, though, I honestly believe that Marquette's better. They got a better defense at Marquette than Georgia does. So I think it's going to be a really good game to watch. The very next day, Georgia is going to have to play number 22, St. John's, another Big East school. And St. John's is ranked 22nd currently. So St. John's is another one of those teams that when you look at the matchup, in some instances, they look worse than Georgia, but it may not be that case. I mean, they're ranked, they're known, so far, St. John's has beaten Fordham pretty convincingly. Quinnipiac, pretty convincingly. Wagner, pretty convincingly. New Mexico, pretty convincingly. So this is a points wise, pretty similar. Rebounds per game, a little bit more of an edge towards Georgia. Field goal percentage, actually fairly close. Free throw percentage, Georgia's a little bit better than them. 3-point percentage, St. John's is a lot better than Georgia. So this game and the Marquette game could really show if Georgia's a contender this year or if they're going to go like they did last year. Georgia's not a bad team. They're playing two very good teams as well. I think this will say whether Georgia is going to be able to do anything in the SEC or if they're just going to be a middle of the road kind of team. We'll see though with this game as well. Third game that we're going to talk about is Auburn, who's currently number 5, is going to be playing Iowa State, who's currently number 7. Now, less games for me to talk about at the making of this video. Iowa State has beaten Mississippi Valley really convincingly. Missouri, Kansas City, pretty convincingly. Auburn beat Vermont pretty convincingly. Houston, it was a dogfight, and Kent State was a easy win. So these two teams, Iowa State being where they are, they're known to be a really good team. Yeah, I mean, this is two teams that on paper probably pretty similar. Yeah, there's some differences, but like rebounds, really similar. It's like 0.3 rebounds per game between the two. Field goal percentage, fairly close, even though Auburn has them on paper. Points scored, they haven't played enough games for that one to really be, but free throw percentage, they're really close. 3-point percentage, Iowa State's a little bit worse. I think that, this will be a really good game. I think, on paper, I think that, for what they are, Iowa State is slightly worse than Auburn. But we're going to see in this game. It's a ranked matchup, top 10 matchup. I think people should watch it if they're really excited about college basketball and what could possibly go on in the tournament this year. Okay, next game. Texas A&M, who's 23rd in the nation currently, and Oregon are going to be playing on Tuesday, November 26th. Texas A&M lost to UCF. Close battle, but they still lost. They then went on to smack down East Texas A&M. They smacked down Lamar, and they actually won convincingly against Ohio State. Oregon beat UC Riverside, beat Montana. Both those games were convincing. Portland was kind of close compared to the other two games, and then they convincingly beat Troy. On paper, they're really close as well. Points scored, 323 to 332. The edge is to Oregon on that one. Rebounds, 2 rebounds makes a difference. So Oregon is worse than Texas A&M. Field goal percentage, Texas A&M slightly better, but it's like 0.2% per game. Free throw percentage, yeah, Oregon's got that one in the bag. 76.7% free throws per game versus A&M's 68.2. 3-point percentage, it's definitely in Texas A&M's corner. Look, this is going to be a good game. Texas A&M needs to win this game to stay relevant in the top 25. On paper, I would say that Texas A&M slightly better, but not by much. And so if Texas A&M wants to stay relevant, this is going to be a game they have to win. The very next day, Texas A&M is going to be playing number 14 Creighton. A Big East game. Creighton being 14th in the nation shows that they're a much more powerful team, and they really do deserve that ranking compared to Texas A&M. Rebounds, points scored, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, other than 3-point percentage. 3-point percentage is definitely Texas A&M's strong suit, but let's see here. Creighton, nice victory against Texas Rio Grande Valley, FDU, Houston Christian, and Missouri Kansas City. Yeah, they haven't played as many strong teams as Texas A&M, but stat-wise, really, it is Creighton all the way. I think it's a little bit more balanced with Texas A&M, but when you look at points scored in a game, when you look at how many rebounds that Creighton is getting, when you look at field goal percentage, when you look at free throw percentage, like I said, other than 3-point percentage, Creighton has got 31.5% from the 3-point line. Texas A&M is at 37.6. Creighton really does, on paper, show that they are a better team. Could Texas pull this off? Yes. Texas A&M has got a team that could pull this off, but they're going to be coming off of another tough game the day before. So we'll see how this one goes. Okay, so another SEC team that's going to have a tough back-to-back couple of days. The now number 2 Alabama versus Houston, who is number 8 in the nation. They both lost a game. This is going to be Tuesday, November 26th. Houston beat Jackson State convincingly, lost to Auburn in a battle, and they convincingly beat Louisiana. Alabama beat North Carolina Asheville, really convincingly. They beat Arkansas State in a pretty good matchup. They beat McNeese State in another one, but they lost to Purdue. And it was by 9 points that they lost to Purdue. So this is an Alabama team that has weaknesses. So does Houston. And it's shown that Houston can lose to a decent SEC team. On paper, Alabama is definitely the better team. Points scored, rebounds per game, field goal percentage, and free throw percentage, Houston's better, and so on 3-point percentage. So this is going to be a battle of defense versus offense, and it's going to be a tiring game. I can already imagine this will be a tiring game. So if you guys want to see a powerhouses of Big 12 versus SEC, both these teams, like I said, have lost to teams that are, somewhat worth losing to. I think this is a game to watch. The very next day, Alabama's got to play number 24 Rutgers. Now, Rutgers has beaten Wagner convincingly, St. Peter's pretty convincingly by 10 points, and Monmouth convincingly. So they haven't had a real tough matchup this year. Rutgers they're 24th. They're projected to do pretty decently. Alabama, points scored got them. Rebounds got them. Rutgers is better at field goals. Just a slight edge on free throw percentage. Just a slight edge. And 3-point percentage, they're 5% better. This another defense-offense situation. But this time, Alabama's got it more matched up. Dylan Harper for Rutgers is going to be the big ticket
person to watch. He's got 21.3 points per game. He's also got 3.7 assists and 4.7 rebounds. Jordan Durkek has got 4 assists per game with 7.7 points per game and 5.7 rebounds. It's going to be an interesting matchup, especially considering that Alabama will have just played a tough game the day before. Alabama, if this was neutral site, not going to be right after a major game, I think Alabama would run away with this game. But this is going to be testing the how strong Alabama is. So it's another game to watch for an SEC, and it's Big Ten SEC matchup. So this is another one of those games that you should pay attention to. Big 12, then a Big Ten matchup on that. So these 7 games really should entertain you. If you're looking for some basketball games that aren't NBA, and if you're looking for some SEC things that are not football, hey, men's basketball is heating up, and there's a couple of these teams that are going to have some really stupid scheduling, but this should really show what they're going to be able to do later on in the season. It'll show how well they'll do when it's SEC versus SEC tournament wise. Who could go to the NCAA's? Yeah, all of this is going to be shown by these games. So enjoy them and see if you agree with me on how well they're going to do. This has been Paul with the Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. I've had some fairly good success with all of my Redneck Sports stuff, and I hope you enjoyed the topic. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that rigmarole, and also just let me know what you want to hear about. I'll give a redneck spin to this stuff. Let me tell you, I love sports. So I love people that want to join me in that. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.